Bodybuilding is about more than muscle. It's a battle for glory, ego, and respect. Some athletes became heroes, loved for their dominance and charisma. Others turned into villains, remembered for scandals, arrogance, or shocking choices. But here's the truth. In bodybuilding, love and hate go hand in hand. The same stage that builds legends can also create villains. So who will go down as the most loved, and who will forever be the most hated? Let's find out. Let's begin with a man who made the impossible look routine, lifting massive weights with ease while others struggled for just one rep. Ronnie Coleman is one of the most famous bodybuilders of all time. He won the Mr. Olympia contest 8 years in a row, from 1998 to 2005. Winning once is hard enough, but Ronnie owned the stage for nearly a decade. Fans loved him for his massive muscles, incredible strength, and fun personality. Ronnie trained like no one else and lifted weights that seemed impossible. He squatted 800 pounds and deadlifted the same. Crowds were stunned as he powered through lifts most athletes would never even try. His raw strength became one of the trademarks of his career. Every day he pushed his body to the limit. This is why he could battle rivals like Jay Cutler and still emerge victorious. His dedication made him stand out, and his work ethic earned him the respect of fans everywhere. Ronnie also inspired people with his energy. His famous phrases like, "Yeah, buddy," and "lightweight, baby," became part of bodybuilding culture. A few words can seem small, but in Ronnie's voice, they shook gyms worldwide. His energy made training exciting and fun for millions. He also achieved feats that still impress bodybuilding fans to this day. Ronnie is widely recognized for having one of the highest numbers of IFBB professional wins, reportedly 26, a testament to his incredible strength and consistency over the years. Even after his career ended, and despite enduring multiple injuries and surgeries, his spirit remained unshaken. He stayed positive and continued to inspire others with his passion for fitness.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Ron here. I'm out here at the Mad Recovery Center in Abu Dhabi, and we're about to get some treatment done. Yeah, buddy. Here you go.
Ronnie Coleman's life is full of passion, discipline, and joy. He showed what a person can achieve if they never give up. Behind the massive physique was a personality that inspired millions. His legacy is more than trophies and titles. It lives on in the inspiration he gives to the world. People will always remember him for his unbelievable strength, his big smile, and his booming voice. But not every story in bodybuilding is about glory. Sometimes the pursuit of size leads to shocking choices that leave everyone asking, how far is too far? Valentino is one of the most infamous figures in bodybuilding. In fact, some people even call him the most hated man in bodybuilding because he injected synthol, a sight enhancement oil, into his biceps. This made his arms grow to a shocking 27 inches. You think big arms are impressive? Wait until you hear what happened next. In 2007, one of his arms suffered an exploding injury because of the stress from the oil. Many in the bodybuilding community strongly criticized him. Fans and professionals said his methods were extremely dangerous. They argued that he set a bad example for young bodybuilders and anyone interested in building muscle naturally. T-Nation, forums, and other bodybuilding sites often called him a freak or said he had warped the sport. Greg's fame was built on something most people considered unsafe, and this made him a controversial figure. Despite the criticism, Greg embraced his image. He appeared in videos, interviews, and online forums, showing off his huge arms and explaining his use of synthol. Some people were fascinated by him, while others were shocked and angry. But the controversy doesn't end here. He also became a cautionary tale for what can go wrong when shortcuts are taken in bodybuilding. His story highlighted the dangers of synthetic muscle enhancement and the risks of ignoring proper training and health.
Pus can infection like people think it was, I'd be dead. Nobody can have this much, dude, this much pus, I mean, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
You know, what that was, my son My son hit me with a bat, not per his
Holy
little boy.
shit.
He let go of a bat, and it hit me here on the side.
Greg Valentino's career is a mix of fame, fear, and criticism. While some admired his confidence, most saw him as a warning. His enormous, unnatural arms became symbols of the extreme and dangerous side of bodybuilding. But here's a name that changed everything. While others just built muscle, this legend built an empire that reached far beyond any gym. Today, people remember him not just for competitions or trophies, but for the controversy he stirred and the debate he ignited about safety, ethics, and the true meaning of muscle building. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold is one of, if not the most loved, people in bodybuilding. He won the Mr. Olympia title 7 times from 1970 to 1975, and again in 1980. Winning can make you great. Dominating for years makes you unforgettable. Arnold's muscles were famous for being both big and balanced. Fans called this the golden era of bodybuilding. People admired how his body looked on stage. It inspired many young athletes to start lifting weights and follow training plans. He also made bodybuilding popular outside of competitions. Movies like Pumping Iron showed what it takes to be a champion. Then came action films like Conan the Barbarian and The Terminator, which made him famous all over the world. Movies were just the beginning, however. Arnold also became a successful businessman, writer, and governor of California.
The pump. Let's say you train your biceps. Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump. Your muscles get a really tight feeling.
People loved him for more than his muscles. His energy, charm, and confidence helped him succeed in many areas. Fans and experts call him the most influential person in bodybuilding history. His words, like "stay hungry, stay humble," still inspire athletes and regular people today. Arnold Schwarzenegger's life is full of hard work, dreams, and achievement. He showed that bodybuilding can lead to fame, success, and personal growth. People remember him for his amazing physique, his energy, and the way he changed bodybuilding forever. But while Arnold basked in the sunlight of glory, another bodybuilder's pranks turned him from a competitor into the villain everyone loved to hate. Ken Waller is one of the most hated figures from bodybuilding's golden era. He became famous after appearing in the 1977 documentary, Pumping Iron. Weights build muscle, but Waller built something bigger. He played a prank by stealing a competitor's trophy. The prank shown in Pumping Iron was actually staged for the cameras, but many viewers still believed it was real and judged Waller harshly. From that moment, people started calling him a jerk and booing him at competitions. His actions made him very controversial. People often saw him as arrogant and unlikable. Success on stage is one thing. Changing public opinion is another. Waller managed both. Even though he had talent and skill, many remembered him for his behavior instead of his achievements. Ken Waller did have important wins. He earned the Mr. International title in 1975. This showed he had the strength, discipline, and dedication to succeed in bodybuilding. Still, his fame came mostly from his antics and personality. Fans and fellow athletes often talked about him as a villain. Interviews, forums, and articles focused on how he upset others and caused tension in the sport. Even today, Ken Waller is discussed as one of the most disliked bodybuilders. People look back at him as a talented athlete who caused drama. His story reminds fans that respect in bodybuilding comes from both skill and behavior. Ken Waller's legacy is complicated. He had real talent, but his actions made him infamous. People remember him as the golden era's most hated competitor, proving that fame can come from both achievement and scandal. But what if I told you there was a champion who dominated for nearly a decade without destroying his body? Meet the man who proved you can be both powerful and smart. Lee Haney is one of the greatest names in bodybuilding. He won the Mr. Olympia contest 8 times in a row from 1984 to 1991. Most champions dream of a single Sandow. Haney stacked them for almost 10 years. His record of 8 straight wins is tied for the most in history. What made Haney special was his physique. He was big and strong, but also well-balanced. His body had symmetry, proportion, and flow. Fans often said he represented the perfect mix of size and beauty. At a time when bodybuilding was changing, Haney showed that power and elegance could exist together. Haney also became known for his training wisdom. His famous line was, "Stimulate, don't annihilate." He believed muscles should be challenged, not destroyed. This helped him stay strong and healthy throughout his career. Many athletes push themselves so hard that injuries follow them for life. Haney showed another path. He avoided major damage and kept his body in good condition even after retiring. This is why fans and experts often call him the real GOAT of bodybuilding. Even after leaving the competition, Haney remained active in fitness. He focused on health, balance, and long-term well-being. Some think a champion's story ends on stage, but Haney's legacy keeps inspiring. He teaches, coaches, and motivates people to live healthier lives. Lee Haney's story is about more than trophies. It is about building strength while protecting health. It is about wisdom, patience, and respect for the body. Fans remember him as a true champion who proved that greatness does not need to destroy the person chasing it. His legacy shines as an example of how bodybuilding can lead to success, longevity, and inspiration for generations. Some athletes are remembered for their wins, some for their insane physique, and then there are those who are remembered for the drama they created. This next story shows how words can be more dangerous than weights. Shawn Ray is one of the most talked about names in bodybuilding. His career in the 1990s was filled with drama, arguments, and bold statements. Bodybuilding might look like it's all about muscle, but Ray's attitude told a different story. Ray competed on the Mr. Olympia stage for more than a decade. He was known for his sharp, balanced body and consistent performances. He often placed in the top 5, proving he had the skill to compete with the best. But while his physique earned respect, his personality often caused backlash. Fans and athletes saw him as cocky, and that image stuck with him throughout his career. A turning point came in 1990. Rumors spread that he was disqualified at the Olympia for steroid use. Rumors are supposed to fade, but this one stuck with him for years. Later, when Ray openly admitted to using steroids, many fans felt the story had been confirmed. This added to his negative reputation. Ray also became known for his feuds. He argued with rivals, criticized judges, and spoke harshly about the direction of the sport. Some people saw his words as honest, others saw them as arrogant. His sharp tone gave him attention, but it also fueled resentment. Even after retirement, the negative image stayed. YouTube videos, Reddit threads, and online forums still debate his behavior. Fans post about his cockiness, his feuds, and his role in bodybuilding history. The label most hated continues to follow him, making him one of the sport's most polarizing figures. However, at the same time, Shawn Ray was impossible to ignore. Silence doesn't keep you in the spotlight. Controversy does. Fans talked about him constantly, whether they liked him or not. Shawn Ray's legacy is remembered as much for drama as for bodybuilding skill. He had the body of a top champion, but his words and actions made him a villain in the eyes of many fans. While Shawn built his legacy on controversy, Phil Heath would later capture the spotlight with trophies and the fans' admiration. Phil Heath is one of the most famous bodybuilders of the modern era. Fans call him the Gift because of his complete and powerful body. You think winning Mr. Olympia once is hard? Wait until you hear that Heath won the title 7 times in a row, from 2011 to 2017. This incredible streak made him one of the greatest champions in bodybuilding history. What set Phil apart was his look. His muscles were thick, round, and very detailed. At the same time, his body had balance and flow that judges admired. Many experts said his conditioning was some of the best ever seen on stage. Think competition was softer back then? His rivals will prove you wrong. One of his biggest rivals was Kai Green. Their battles on the Olympia stage created some of the most exciting moments in bodybuilding. Fans loved the intensity, the face-offs, and the drama between them. These clashes gave the sport energy and made the shows unforgettable. Phil Heath's success came from discipline and focus. He worked year after year to bring the same polished look. His consistency kept him at the top during a time when bodybuilding standards were rising fast. Many young athletes looked at him as the model of what a modern champion should be. Later in his career, Heath faced struggles with injuries and surgeries. These challenges slowed him down and kept him from staying unbeatable. You'd think injuries would dim his shine, yet fans still call him one of the greatest. His 7 Olympia titles keep his name high on the list of all-time greats. Outside of competing, Phil Heath stays active in the bodybuilding world. He shares his training advice, speaks at events, and connects with fans. He wants others to learn from his experience and stay motivated to follow their goals. Phil Heath's story is about dominance, rivalry, and resilience. His streak of Olympia wins, his dramatic battles with rivals, and his detailed, powerful physique built a legacy that will last. Fans remember him as the Gift, a champion who set a standard for the modern era of bodybuilding. Finally, we reach perhaps the most controversial victory in bodybuilding history. What happens when a champion wins, but nobody believes they deserve it? Chris Dickerson is one of the most debated names in bodybuilding history. He won the Mr. Olympia title in 1982, but many fans and experts still criticize his victory. You'd think every Olympia winner earns respect, but history tells a different story. Dickerson's win is often called one of the weakest in the contest's history. At the time, bodybuilding fans expected champions with size, power, and sharp conditioning. Dickerson, however, had a look that many considered underwhelming. His arms were often called small, and critics said his conditioning was poor compared to his rivals. Some pointed to water retention in his body, which made his physique appear softer on stage. To make matters worse, he was dealing with bursitis, an inflammation that limited how sharp and polished he looked under the lights. The reaction to his 1982 Olympia win was harsh. Forums, Quora threads, and bodybuilding discussions often describe it as undeserved. The debate over his win has never gone away. Fans compare his look to other champions like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Oliva, and later, Dorian Yates or Ronnie Coleman, and the gap seems clear. Dickerson's title stands out as an odd moment in Olympia history, where the crown went to someone many thought did not deserve it. At the same time, his victory sparked important conversations about bodybuilding. You'd think criticism only tears down, but Dickerson's victory forced fans to question the sport itself. For many, the 1982 contest became a lesson in how much influence judges hold, and how controversial their decisions can be. Chris Dickerson's legacy remains complicated. He was the first openly gay Mr. Olympia to win the title, which gave him a unique place in the sport's history. Yet, fans mostly remember the negative reaction to his physique and his win. His name continues to appear in lists and debates about the weakest champions. Bodybuilding is full of legends who inspire and supposed villains who spark debate. Some are remembered for strength and heart, others for controversy and drama. Now it's your turn. Who do you think is the most loved and the most hated bodybuilder of all time? Share your thoughts in the comments and keep the debate alive.